Hiya, this is your buddy Marty, and as you can see, it's still kind of snowbound up here in Wisconsin. Yep. We had snow last week, and it looks like we may have more snow next week, and by golly, it just seems like snow is a theme. We're getting ready to enter into the month of March now, and we're doing it in grand style. We have a full moon on February 28th, and then the following day, it's March 1st. Yep, it's March 1st. Many of you folks are aware of the fact that March is a special time here in the 100-acre wood, because, by golly, a lot of folks drop by right around the 16th of the month and help me celebrate my birthday. So that's going to be the big event for mid-month here in Wisconsin, is all these folks coming from all over the place, bringing, a few nuts by and drop them off, and having around a good cheer. So this is a particularly happy and exciting month for me. As you might notice, I've got my good friend Jack here beside me. That's Jack Rabbit. Well, he's not really a jackrabbit, but he's actually a hare. But anyway, his name's Jack. He's Jack the Hare, but kind of a rabbit too, so it's all kind of mingled into the same thing there. But by golly, he's a March hare. A lot of people are not fully up to speed as to what, happens with March hares this time of year, but it's pretty amazing. Alice there from Alice in Wonderland, she was heard to say the March hare will be much more interesting, and perhaps, as this is May, it won't be raving mad. At least not so mad as it was in March. Well, Jack here and his buddies, they do get a little bit goofy, but that's primarily because after spending 4 months in a hole in the ground covered with snow, you get a little bit stir crazy there. It's been a long held view that the hare behaves strangely and excitedly throughout its breeding season, which is the month of March, but extends actually over several months beyond March. And this odd behavior includes boxing at other hares, jumping vertically for seemingly no reason, and generally displaying abnormal behavior. Well, a lot of us here just figure it's cabin fever, and rabbits are a little bit high-strung, so by golly, they have to act out a little bit. Yep, by golly, they act out a little bit. Mark Edmund Jones, who was kind of the grandfather, I guess you could say, of astrology here in America, was also a mystic, and he developed a whole series of themes that he wrote about over the course of his life, and one of his favorite things was Alice in Wonderland, and the metaphysical aspects of Alice in Wonderland, and what the whole story really meant from a metaphysical perspective. So if you're interested in pursuing that, you want to look up Mark Edmund Jones, and there's a whole series of treatises he wrote called The Studies in Alice. And by golly, it'd be a pretty good thing to do because, that movie's coming out with Johnny Depp there sometime this month, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Yep, by golly, we got Johnny Depp and all kinds of interesting folks there showing up to give us a little overview of what Alice is all about. Of course, that gets us back to the March hare, and we're just hoping that March is going to kind of mellow out here. We'll be able to get everything on track as we move further into the month. There's going to be a new moon mid-month, and in addition to that, we're going to be seeing Mars go direct in Leo at 0 degrees of Leo, by golly. Yep, at 0 degrees of Leo, Mars is going to go direct on the 10th of March, and a lot of things have been kind of stagnant here in the greater world around us is going to start to shift forward, and we're going to see opportunities come up that weren't there before, and we're going to start seeing events in our lives speed up. So, by golly, I think that's going to be a pretty good thing mid-March when we all get energized by that activity of Mars in the heavens. There are a lot of other things that are happening in March. We have, of course, the vernal equinox, and that's on the 20th, and that's all about an equal amount of daylight and an equal amount of nighttime. So that's why they call it an equinox. Yep, it's equal amounts of day and night right there. So on that magical note, we'll be moving grandly forward into spring. And of course, spring is when the flowers start popping up from the ground, when we can get past having to thaw our nuts before we're consuming them here in the 100-acre wood, because pretty much everything right now is frozen over. Yep, by golly, it's frozen over. So anyway, this is, a little bit of an update. Things are getting better and better, and I think we're going to see a very positive shift forward as we move into spring this year. And of course, Jupiter's still hanging out there in Pisces, bringing all kinds of good things to folks that have been somewhat neglected, perhaps, by the universe over the last few months or the last few years. So it's pretty optimistic here. We're looking forward to spring. We're looking forward to getting away from these snowbanks and, having to dig around to reclaim our sources of nutrition from under those piles of snow. Yep, of course, it's going to be my birthday and all those other folks who are Pisces, and then we'll move into Aries, and it's just going to be a pretty grand time. So this is your buddy Marty, and I'm wishing you all the best from the 100-acre wood, and watch out for the March hare because, they'll be zipping across the road in front of you, so you won't have to be dodging squirrels as much as you'll be dodging rabbits there. So keep your eyes open, and we'll be talking to you soon.